guys, it's Phil Maturano and welcome to this issue of Drums and Percussion Magazine. In this workshop, I'm going to tell you about a really useful feel and groove that I've used lots of times in recordings and on production shows and even on live gigs. If you're in a cover band, this is something you might want to check out. So this is what I call the old style rock and roll beat. There was a time when the rock and roll beats were not straight eighth notes, but they were this wavering kind of in between shuffle and straight groove that's very swinging and a little bit difficult to get going. If you're used to playing straight eighth note grooves, this is something you might want to look into to expand your groove arsenal. Okay, so I'm sure you've all heard that Chuck Berry tune, Johnny Be Good. This is kind of that genre of drumming. Probably during the cusp when jazz drumming was turning into rock and roll, these kind of beats started emerging, I think. So a good way to do this. Now let's just look at the regular shuffle for a moment. A lot of guys play that song wrong. They play this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a regular shuffle. That's like a Chicago shuffle or something. So what you want to do to get that rock and roll feel to it is just do straight eighths on the right hand, like this. Okay, so you see that's a molar thing. I'm doing one accented note, one unaccented note. On the left hand, you do the Chicago shuffle pattern, but you make it straight. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, you have this 1, 2, 3, 4. So with the right hand, it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Now let's add a little bass drum so you can see how that's kind of sitting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you can see how it's starting to get really grooving and swingy, yet it's still straight 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's not 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's not that. Okay? So your next step is probably to put this over on the ride cymbal and start layering the sounds. Okay? Layering the hi-hat, it's just going to play on 1, 2, 3, and 4. On the ride cymbal, the straight eighths, and on the left hand, what we discussed. So that sounds like this. 1, 2. Okay, I think it sounds super groovy and it really makes a big difference. If you just play backbeats, you don't get that same kind of a feel out of this type of groove. Okay, so let me just play for you a moment a little faster so you can see what it feels like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, that's the kind of vibe you should be getting. Not completely 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 really straight, okay? So, the next thing you want to look into is vocabulary. You see I'm doing those kind of fills that fit in this style. If you have a listen on YouTube to the original Chuck Berry groove for Johnny Be Good, you'll probably, you're going to hear this is a very American thing, this type of drumming. So if in Europe, you have to kind of check out the beginnings of it to get it down. This is the kind of fills that you usually gonna hear. All right, 1, 2. You can even loop it to get a T-high kind of a thing going. Okay, you just take out a couple of notes. like that. I just do it hand to hand. That's fine. It's the main thing is just the idea of the T-high. Okay? So, now, the reason I like to do this groove is because it can lead to a lot of other things. It can lead to a lot of improvisational possibilities and even a New Orleans-ish kind of feel. Okay, so if you do this type of thing, once your hands get used to doing this, you can apply this in different ways to get a New Orleans-ish kind of feel. This is what it would sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you can feel that, right? Another thing is for jazz fusion, for flowing type of grooves, a lot of over the bar line phrasing. This is really nice, and the layering really fills up the groove and makes it really nice. So let me just give you an example of that real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sure you've heard that type of stuff before, and fusion stuff. I don't know, but I do it a lot, and it's really fun. It's fun to get that left hand always pumping in there, moving around the kit. So the main thing to do is look at the PDFs in the magazine and try to get some of the basic patterns down with some of the independents. In the meantime, I'm just going to play you guys out with a little bit more from this with that open fusion kind of thing, so you can get some ideas. All right, I hope you enjoyed the workshop. See you in the next one. Remember, this is a very useful tool, especially if you're playing in cover bands. It's a very American kind of sound. You want to make sure you're doing it correctly in your grooves if you're playing a lot of old rock and roll stuff. Okay, here we go. 1, 2.